Here is another local church and their cemetery. I use the term church loosely in this term is because they've got a female pastor. But it is a gorgeous building and grounds. Okay, we're doing a cut through one of the ways that we take to go to church through Lake Redmond. Let's see, there's the rest of the... We got some farmland, more corn. See, there's a county park. Here's where we're coming to Lake Redmond.
This is actually where the county gets a lot of its drinkable water. It flows in here. It's a man-made lake, but it is connected to a creek.
There's 83.
We just went over that.
There's some more.
Oh, that house.
This is like my favorite spot coming up, especially in the fall when the leaves are all turned. I love to drive past this. You get a better view coming from the other side with that pond and the barn. It's really neat. And now we're coming to the very infamous Diane runs the stop sign for like the first 3 months she lived up here. Thankfully, the right side road was closed, and thankfully it's an always stop. But yeah, Diane would come up here and just like, yeah.
I've never done that.
Here's another pretty view coming up. You should see this when it's covered in snow. It's really pretty. And this is a horse farm coming up.
That barn.
Huh?
The barn.
I said farm.
I know, but the beautiful barn.
There's the house of the owners across the street. There's the house way up on that hill. And this is where we're coming up to, where the trees are. It's really pretty in the fall too. And the leaves have changed.
Taking the back way to church.
Yeah. We're taking that curvy road and putting that on the floor. There's another area. Yeah, if it's icy, we don't necessarily go this way to church. We go the flatland way.
And even that's relative.
Yeah. Hidden driveway.
That's where that A-frame is, I think. No, that's up here.
Yeah, feel free to fast forward to some spots you don't want to see, because it's not necessarily, I can talk, but I don't necessarily have something to say every second of this trip. Here's one of the famous corners where the oncoming traffic does not stop. That is if they're taking a right-hand turn. See, there's one, to somebody walking their dog. See how close the homes are to some of these roads?
What? What?
You just ran over a squirrel.
No, I did.
Now this kills me. I hate progress in this type of way because look, beautiful fields and they're putting a big old ugly house on it. But
What?
look at that picture. The view. You should see the wheat when it's ready to be harvested. It creates a really pretty picture. I like to take this back way when Zach and I go to choir practice because I like keep my foot off the gas or off the brake and let it go pretty fast down this hill. And
Scare Zach.
yeah. And the barn.
Notice how some of the leaves.
I know the leaves. Oh, they started changing the end of August. I'm like, this is soy crop, I believe. Poor squirrels. That's 2 dead squirrels.
Yep. One by me.
Well, he was already down. You just kind of,
Finished the job.
yeah. I think, is this the horse farm that's my other favorite spot coming up?
I'm not sure.
Has a little creek by it.
Yes, I think so. It's on the left.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. This is my other favorite spot. See that little, oh, you can't see it on the thing, but there's a little creek that flows by it, and it's really neat. More horses. Yeah, and people on these crazy roads that, yeah, it says 30, but nobody ever does 30 on back roads. People are running and walking out. I'm like, ah, no, I would not.
Hopefully we get to see an Amish.
Yeah, in some areas closer to the church, the Amish have been moving in over the last, how many years?
About 10.
About 10 years. And when we go some of the back roads, they grow tobacco. They got the tobacco barns with tobacco where they hang the tobacco to dry and whatever. And you see you get buggies on the road. And here's this one old house, this old white house on the edge. Somebody moved into it recently and has started cleaning the area up. And
No, that house.
oh, did they put a new roof on the top or just cleaned it up?
No, it looks like it's new.
They must have put a new roof on. There's the barn across the street. Some little outbuilding, don't know what it is, but see, they're even working on the front area. It's really neat. Coming up to a little family-owned farm, I guess.
Livestock, for the most part.
Yeah, basically cows. I don't know if there are any close today, but normally when we're going to church in the afternoon, they're by the barn. Here's another thing of, I guess we couldn't shift the road more to the left. People come out their front door and it's like, hello.
It's because most of these places were built when it was still horses, not cars. So driveways were not fun.
Look, I love this. This little town area. You can see a church steeple off in the distance. Little creek running through.
You'll see at key crossroads, like 2 or 3 houses just kind of, parked at that spot. And that's because they were built at crossroads.
See, there's the area of town with a steeple,
Oh, shoot.
old homes. You're good.
No.
An heirloom weaver's place.
Some of these hills are something else.
More what I believe to be soy. This is one of the corners where I hate coming up. It's just like, oh my word. Can we make it a little more impossible to see? Oh look, they harvested the corn, Dad.
Yep, they sure did. Look at that. Still left a little batch.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, can you make it any harder to see to turn? More farm area. Once we get to the church, we can turn this off and then go the back way where we go through Red Line in Dallastown, because there's a couple spots I'd really like to take pictures of, like where the Cleaners is,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and that old movie theater, and that old bank I guess apartments inside,
Right.
and then that karate place is an old bank.
Right.
There's a house coming up that they have way too much time on their hands to make their yard crisscross.
Oh yeah, that one right there.
Because it's a huge yard. Straight ahead at the end of the road, if you can see it. It's coming up. I mean, we're not talking, this is like 3 of Geneva's yards. It's all crisscross. Alright, this is one end of Red Line, I believe.
Yep.
There's an old VFW home. And a local hardware store.
What was that about?
I don't know, somebody is honking at somebody. Whoa, hello, truck. Where's that house that I think is kind of neat? Because the back end of it, there it is. It's like the back end of it is half in the ground and half not.
Oh wow, I never noticed that.
Another manufacturing business.
This church on the left was actually founded by a former member of Mount Zion Baptist Church. have a school too. Not a former member, a former pastor.
A local produce place. Produce farm. This isn't, no, we're not coming through Felton. Okay, this is something else.
Midvale or something Vale. Springvale. Yeah, this is Springvale.
Here's another picture perfect church.
Having a baby shower there today.
That's a cute house right there.
Yeah, I love it.
A local taxidermy shop.
Big business here. That and deer processing. Meaning making meat out of deer that have been shot. First day of deer season here is a day off of school. That is a pretty church.
What did you say this old building used to be on the left?
I want to say it was like a children's clinic of some type. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think so. But man, is it falling apart now. So this is our daily, well, not daily. This is our
Weekly.
ride to church. Yard sales. I know Grandpa loves his yard
Need
sales.
some lawn equipment? There's some silos. We haven't passed the house that I like, right?
No, we haven't.
Oh, y'all like this one house. It was so dilapidated when we moved up here. Somebody bought it and has totally redone it. I would love to see the inside.
Yeah, it looks awesome. You know what it might be? It might be memory on that tablet. You never really realize how long of a trip it is until you're trying to give them a guided tour.
More farm fields. There's actually a farm acreage for sale.
161 and a half acres.
Whoa! Sorry. One of the many times I get scared half out of my wits because I'm looking somewhere else and he has to stop.
If you don't want me to stop, I don't have to. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're coming up on it as well as 74 South.
Yeah, coming up on 74 South, you'll see where these electrified palm trees are. That's where Kate has bought her car. So buy here, pay here. And then you see the White House in the distance. Not going to be able to get too good of a shot because they built a hill up in front of it. But it is just absolutely gorgeous. See? And the farmland next to it and the big old barn. More farmland. Go figure, huh? Mount Zion, 2 miles away. You missed that sign though. I was trying to get the sign and it was like, whoop. Cows. A barn. An ugly house.
Otherwise known as a modern house. Auctioneer.
Local auction house, but they only do it on Wednesdays, so guess what?
We can't make it.
A little park. More corn.
We were going to see the church in a minute. Or maybe not.
Yeah, if the corn wasn't up so high, you could see the church from here. There's another pretty old house. There is off in the distance, you can see on the right the church. Oh, now you know you see his corn tops. Oh, now you get a glimpse. So there's that old house.
Oh, they got stuff for sale.
Oh, you'll get to see the Brogue post office. The one by our house in Jacobus is about the same size. There's another little farm area. See? There's a church off in the distance. Another produce place down the street. All right, see that little brick building in the forefront? That's the Brogue post office. And a local general store. Look, please impact horse parking. Use shovel as needed.
Hint, hint. Clean up your poop.
From the Amish buggies. Now we own the building across the street now too. It's an old ambulance building. But this is our main church building. And then down there is the annex.
It has a Bible assembly machines.
Yep.
Look at that view. Wow.
I know.
a lot of people down there.
Probably cleaning or something. Oh no, Operation Saturation was this week.
Oh yeah.
They have a profits chamber up there too. But yeah, across the street is an old ambulance building that we bought, and the property with it has a softball field.
Bought it for $365,000 in cash, which they had been building up for a while.
And the city was, the townships and everything were going to charge taxes just for this year and exempt the rest, but the Lord saw fit to have them forgive all the taxes and not tax it at all. So
It's an old school.
next door is an old school that the township bought. That's where the ambulance people are moving into.
Alright, so are we done or we're gonna go?
Okay, we're going to discontinue it right now because we're going to, until we get to another part of town.